Y'all, we're making tortillas, soft ones and crunchy ones. Come on. Welcome to Highfalutin Low Carb, the almost weekly web series where we find and test the best low carb recipes this crazy internet has to offer. Today, we're tackling a topic that we've discussed many times before, but we're back to revisit tortillas. Stay tuned. All right, guys, low carb tortillas. It's a topic we have discussed many times over the 7 years of this channel, but you guys have really responded well to my last few videos where we've done some traditional recipes using traditional ingredients in non-traditional ways. Sort of like my last video, I'll leave a link here if you haven't seen it, the cottage cheese chips, the protein chips. You guys are raving about that. It kind of took the internet by storm 7 or 8 years ago. It came back into fashion about a year ago and I just discovered it, but be sure to go check out that. But today's recipes, we're going to do, like I said, a soft shell tortilla that we can use as a wrap and a crunchy hard shell like a Tex-Mex taco shell. Both of these use pork rinds as an ingredient. Now don't hang up the phone just yet. I know there is some heated discussion and some loves and dislikes about pork rinds, but I'm here to tell you, you guys know that we have used it many times for super crunchy breadings and some other recipes where you really can't detect the pork rind flavor. And I know they have a little bit of a stink, but just hear me out. Watch the video, see what you think, and try these. All right, so we're gonna do two different recipes. The soft recipe is first, and this is Keto pork rind tortillas, and it's by the website, theprimitivepalate.com. We're gonna mix up some ingredients here, a batter, if you will, and cook those on a nonstick skillet. And our second recipe comes to us from a new name to this channel, Chef Fat Grams. He has a YouTube channel here that I've checked out. Please, I'm going to leave links to all this here on the screen and in the video description below. I've seen him in my comments recently, and a lot of people have responded well to his different techniques and recipes. So we're making his crispy taco shells. So, all right, let's get started on that. And the first recipe is going to be by the Primitive Palate. Let me get set up. All right, so this first recipe obviously is going to start with pork rind. This is the Keto pork rind tortillas, primitivepalate.com. I don't give exact ingredients. The people that did do the hard work, they deserve the traffic. I'm going to drive you to their website. Again, it's here on the screen. But I will let you know it calls for 4 ounces of pork rinds, chicharrones, depending on where you're at or where you're located. This bag is a 4-ounce bag, and we need 4 ounces. So it's this whole bag. So hold on. Loud noise. These go right in the food processor. You can probably do this in a blender too, but a food processor is best. And we need to turn this into a dust. So we're going to blitz this. It's full, but you're going to see this turns into almost nothing. She said that you can use the hot and spicy. I don't really care for hot and spicy pork rinds, so it's not something I keep around. But she did say just the regular ones are fine. I prefer them. They have less ingredients to become problematic because you want these as low carb as possible. So quick 10-second pulse on this, and we'll have this into dust. All right, hold on. Okay. So as you can see, we have got these turned almost into nothing. And yes, there is an odor of pork skin, and that's what many people find off-putting about them, is not really the taste, because they don't have a whole lot of taste. It's the smell. Just move past that, because we're gonna solve all of that. Okay. Now to this, we're gonna add some things that we're gonna make in the batter, and then we just run this for about 45 seconds. So to this, we're going to add in some cumin, however you say it, and some garlic powder. So that goes right in to our food processor. We're going to add in a little bit of water. Again, if you don't know how much, you know exactly where to go. It's right on the screen below. So to this, we're also going to add in cream cheese. This has been softened, and this is going to give us our base, what sort of a binder, I guess you could say, that sort of holds it all together. And lastly, we're going to add in, get out of the way, some eggs. And it's quite a few eggs, as you can see. So this goes right in. Now, 45 seconds to a minute, let this run. Speed this up so you don't have to watch it, and I'll meet you right back here in just a sec. All right, so we have got our batter ready to go, and as you can see, it made quite a bit. Recipe makes 12 6-inch tortillas. We're going to use about a third of a cup, and we're going to cook these in a non-stick skillet. She says you can use an electric griddle if you want to do multiples, but I just prefer a non-stick skillet. And I just wanted to mention too that you guys know, if you've watched this channel any length of time, I've had difficulty finding non-stick cookware that works on my induction burner. I love an induction burner. I use it obviously here because it's easy on camera away from a regular stove, but just in a hot kitchen in the hot summer, it's nice to just be able to heat up one burner and the pan with induction. But the point I'm getting at here is most, I was going to say cheap nonstick, but even expensive nonstick cookware is aluminum, and aluminum doesn't work on an induction burner because it has to be magnetic. It needs to be steel, and even some of the really expensive steel-based non-stick cookware it's aluminum with a piece of steel plate glued to the bottom of it, which doesn't really do anything great. This is a pan made by the company called Made In. They're made in, the non-stick stuff is made in either the US or Italy. And it was started by a couple of guys 6 or 7 years ago, I think, and they have been in the kitchenware business. The thing that they do that I really appreciate is they work exclusively and partner exclusively with multi-generational, artisanal, family-owned manufacturers in the US, the UK, Italy, and France to create beautiful, wonderfully made cookware for the home cook and professional chefs. And when I say professional chefs, I'm talking 3-star Michelin restaurants like Chicago's Alinea, New York City's Le Bernardin. These are the best restaurants literally in America and often in the top in the world. These chefs and restaurateurs have the ability to use any product they can get their hands on, and their kitchens are using made-in cookware. Because they're that good. So I love this skillet because it is the best nonstick skillet I have ever used, hands down. It is 5 layers of stainless steel, just like their regular stainless steel pans. This is 5 layers with a double cured layer of nonstick cookware on top. Unlike any other cookware nonstick that I know of, you can go directly from the stovetop to a 500-degree oven for searing. It works beautifully, and it's made by people, like I said, finding people who are multi-generational in what they do, where the business has been handed down from family member to family member, and that care and love and artisanal quality, I know is a buzzword, but it is true, is rare in today's age, and this is where this company stands out. So if you want to check out the Made In nonstick collection or any of their other gorgeous cookware, their knives are gorgeous. Be sure to check the link in my video description. You can save a little bit there if you want to try it out. So beautiful cookware. So we're going to heat this over medium-high heat. Medium high. You don't want to get it too scorching hot. So I'm going to do that now and let that come to temperature, and as soon as it's up to a working spot, we'll be right back, and we're going to fry some of these tortillas. Only takes about 2 minutes per side. Flip it over about 45 seconds. I'll meet you right back here to show you how that goes. Okay, so we are pretty much ready to go. That is nice and hot. And I'm going to use a little bit of avocado oil spray just to make sure nothing sticks here, because these are delicate. And you're going to go by 1/3 scoops and put this in the center. Oh yeah. And then this needs to spread out. You can do it with a spatula, or you can, oh, see, it's so slick it won't even. So spread this out thin, and you're just going to cook these like pancakes. This needs to cook for about 2 minutes. Get it as thin as possible. You're trying to get a 6-inch tortilla here. Be sure to use silicone or plastic or wood if you're using a non-stick surface. All right, so I'm just going to cook these, and you'll see me flip these after about 2 minutes. And look at that, just slide around in that pan. It's so nice. Heats beautifully and evenly. I'm going to kick that up to a little bit higher. And I'm going to speed this up and make a few of these so you can see how that goes. And I'll meet you right back here, and we'll be testing these shortly. All right? Okay, let me show you how I found the easiest way to do this. Give it a quick little spray, and then take your third cup measure. If this had been a little thinner, I think it would have spread a little more easily. But go ahead and put this on the pan while it's hot and kind of get it in as large a circle as you can. And then while it's still cooking, the bottom is trying to set. Tap this down. You can't really pull on it, but you can tap it to widen it out. And as this bottom starts to set, you'll see that you can get some more leverage. See, the whole thing is moving. Give it a few seconds to get, like, we want it to be a little wider than that, but now swap your grip and then gently drag this top layer of batter out towards the edge. Gently, gently, gently. But you can only do this after that bottom layer has set some. You don't want to break it apart, but if you change your grip like I'm doing here and then gently drag this out, you're trying to prevent the batter from collecting and pooling around the edges. And tapping will only get you so far. So you see how much wider we're getting here just by gently dragging out the last of this batter. I think that if I do this again, which I probably will, depending on how this tastes, I would increase the water just a bit by maybe 50% more. So maybe bumping it up to a half a cup of water. So you see I can still keep getting this out towards the edges, and now we're at to the 6-inch tortilla size, or close thereabout, that we really want. So, and then from here, that just needs another minute or two on this side. You can see we're free, we're not sticking. And then I'll let this cook another minute and then we'll flip it over. But that's the easiest way to get this from the small circle to a larger diameter. So I'll finish up from here. Okay, so our first recipe is done. I've made about half of the stuff there, half of the recipe. As you can see, these are very nice and pliable and floppy. They don't smell like pork rinds, believe it or not. So I'm just going to put these over to the side so that we can test those in just a moment. But now let's get started on our second recipe. And this is by the YouTube channel Chef Fat Grams. I'm going to leave a link here on the screen. Just be sure to go check out his channel over there. This is one of his very early recipes, and it's called Crispy Keto Tacos, a CFG original recipe. And so we're going to start on this now, and you're going to need provolone cheese, a couple of 3 slices of that, and some mozzarella cheese. And we're going to start, we've done the crispy taco shells with just cheese before many times. I've done them on this channel, and then that's just kind of a staple around the house too. But this is a little bit different because it's going to incorporate the pork rinds that we used in our other recipe. So we're going to start this by cutting this cheese here. He cuts these in half, the round in half, because provolone is round, and like he said, it's a very benign flavor. It doesn't have a strong flavor. And then also he takes the square mozzarella cheese and cuts these. And from here he builds out the shape of a taco in a very interesting way. So he takes the plate out of his microwave, because I think this is the easiest way to transfer it back into the microwave, and then cuts a little round of parchment paper to go right on top. And then from here he lays out 2 tacos. And I'm going to try to do this way. So he lays this out and puts the square in the middle, right? So you see this is sort of like he's making a little puzzle. And boop. If your mozzarella cheese square has a round in it, rounded edge, you're going to cut that rounded edge off. And then here's where you take what's left of this, makes a little, see what he's doing? Make a little piece. You don't want it to overlap because you don't want any of the cheese to be thicker in one spot than the others. So I'm going to keep doing this until you get 2 tacos that are appropriately sized. Take that little bit off of there. So, interesting, huh? Okay, and then you can eat these little nibbles because you don't want them to go to waste. Okay, so from here, you're going to take your pork rinds. I've already ground some up. A lot of people keep them ground and just put them in a Ziploc or whatever and store them in the pantry for things like this. And you're going to take a tablespoon and put it right on each taco shell. And you may need a little bit more than 1 tablespoon. He starts with a tablespoon, and I think he had to eventually add a little bit more. But gently knock this down and cover the entirety of the cheese with a super thin layer of these pork rinds. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be right back here. If you need to add a little bit more of the pork rinds, do so. You don't want to leave any of the edges or any of the cheese uncovered, and you don't want to try to spill any over the edge either. So be right back. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our shells, our cheese fully covered, and now this is going to go in the microwave on high, and you're going to cook it in 1-minute increments and stop it when it gets perfectly golden brown. You don't want it to spread too far. It needs to keep its general shape. So I'll meet you right back here. It won't take long, and then we're ready to test these, and I'll let you know what I think of them, and we'll be right back. All right? Okay, so we gotta move quickly here, but you want to get these off of this paper and put them on something to mold them into a taco shape. They are hot, so be careful. I have manufactured my own taco holder by just taking a cardboard box and wrapping it in aluminum foil. But if you have one of those handy dandy taco holders that you can find in different places, by all means use one of those. So, but you want to prop them up on something so that they can harden and go from there. And if you happen to overcook your first batch because you're texting on the telephone like I did and it's too hard to bend, well, guess what? Now you have a tostada. So you can just build on top of that. So, because you hear how crunchy that is. So I'm all right. I'm going to clean up, let these harden up, and we're going to come back. I'm going to test all these. I'll let you know what I think. And I'll meet you right back here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, so we are back. We're ready now to taste both of our tortilla / taco shells. Just so you know, both of these recipes come out to less than 1 gram of carbs, net carbs per serving, per tortilla, per taco. This is our first recipe. Again, this is the Keto pork rind tortillas, and this is by the Primitive Palate.com. And these guys here on my makeshift homemade taco stand are the crispy keto tacos by the YouTube channel Chef Fatgrams. And again, I'm going to leave links below. Please go check out both of these creators. We want to support the folks that are doing the hard work of creating wonderful things for us to even test and try and enjoy. So how do these come compare to what we've done in the past? We've done some similar things, but these are very pliable, very, you can see I can rough them up pretty well. They're going to hold up well. You could definitely roll some, I could see an easy enchilada out of this. But what do they taste like? Obviously, you're going to have all the filling, whatever your filling of choice is. Very benign. I don't taste pork rinds. Very slight egg flavor, but not a lot. They've got a good pull to them, a good tooth to them. That's an A. Love that. She did say that you can create these in advance, freeze them or store them in the fridge, and then just let them thaw if they're frozen, and then toss them in a skillet real quick to reheat so that you can have some ready to go. But those are good. Yeah, I would be very intrigued. Take that same recipe, remove the cumin and the garlic powder, or maybe keep the garlic powder and swap out Italian seasoning. Lasagna noodle. Yeah. Could easily see that happening. Could easily see maybe even if you crisp it up in a skillet, a pizza crust for a personal pizza. I'm down with that. Okay, our makeshift tacos. Look at that now. They're dusty on the outside, so maybe they hold their shape really well. The pork rinds are kind of falling off, so maybe when I put them on here, I should have done it the other way around so that when we're eating them, our pork rind dust is falling into the taco instead of outside of the taco. But these are holding up really well. I'm going to break it now just to see how crunchy. Yeah, that's gonna hold up. I'm a sucker for a Tex-Mex taco with a crunchy shell. I am. We knew. Oh yeah. Salty. Ooh. Those are good. Fill that with some ground beef, some grilled steak, lettuce, some cheese, and you've got a great Tex-Mex American taco. Fill these with some onions and some carne asada or some pork, and you've got a fantastic, almost street taco there. So, going to give both of these an A. If you haven't tried them, be sure to check out both of the recipes below. So if you can tolerate pork and pork rinds, I encourage you to try both of these recipes. There are even some recipes for sweet things like chocolate covered pork rinds where you don't really taste the pork at all and they become delicious dessert things. So they are very versatile. You just got to get over that pungent little whoo smell right at the beginning. So, all right, guys, there you have it. Tacos, tortillas. We did it again. I know we do them every couple of years, but it's worth revisiting for reasons like this. So thank you so much for joining me. I say this every time. These videos are a way for me to maintain my low carb way of eating, and looking in the end of that camera as often as I can helps keep me honest, and I appreciate that you have come along for the journey. I'm going to ask you to like this video and give it a thumbs up. Be sure you're subscribed if you're not a subscriber. Hit the bell button if you are a subscriber so you know as soon as I release a new video. Guys, I'm going to ask you too to hit me over on Facebook and Instagram, and I like nice tidy numbers, and I am so close to 225,000 followers over on my Facebook page. It's just Highfalutin Low Carb over there. Go over there if you're on Facebook and you haven't liked my page or followed me. I talk a little more frequently, a little more freely over there. I just want to get to that nice even goal of 225,000 people just because it drives me crazy that I'm so close. So go help me out over there if you don't mind. I also need to give a quick thank you to the partner of this video, Made In. Be sure to use the link down below if you want to check out my new favorite nonstick skillet and any of their other products. You can use that link for savings there. And lastly, I need to thank my rock stars, my Patreon members. Their names are going to start scrolling over here. If you don't know what Patreon is, think of it as the tip jar for the internet. It lets people like you who enjoy what people like me do here on YouTube. You can give $1 or $2 a month just to keep the train on the tracks. So they know about all of my videos before they go live. They know first. I send them out over there. So if you want to join that crew, be sure to do so. Without them, none of this would be possible. So thank you guys very much. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. And remember, today is a great day. Have a great day. Bye-bye.